Please complete the assessment, those who are joining late. In Python programming course, there is assessment going on. You need to attend the quiz. It is available in the Python quiz assessment heading under general tab. 10 questions, 15 minutes, up to 7 o'clock max. Last 10 minutes. Still now I got 216 entries. There are 309 people in the Python programming model. Okay, last 2 minutes. Yes, ma, I'll discuss the answers. Yeah, indentation errors, questions to those are spacing when I am creating the questions, some extra space I added. That is not an issue. Like the answer is coming below the A, B, C, D, right? That is because of the HTML. That is not an issue. You completed all the programs, very good. Now you need to practice other programs, explore hacker rank, don't sit idle until I give the questions. Your job is to explore more questions. Okay. It's good that you completed. Until I add the questions, you can practice the other questions in the mode and any other platform. Okay, so I'm closing the quiz. So let me discuss the answers. Those who are still attempting, the quiz is closed. Good, good, good. So that's how it should be, right? Engineering is all about how you continue your work without me or teachers telling you to do it. So you should know that once you have done some work, try to find the similar problems, explore more questions, right? Lot of things you can do, lot of content you can find, lot of problems you will find. I'll be coordinating with a lot of students. So it may take some time for me to add. So maybe in another 1 or 2 days, I will be adding a lot of problem solving questions based on data structures, that is Python, list, tuple, sets, and dictionary. Then you can solve those problems. Till that time, you complete all the remaining problems, explore more content on your own. Okay. So I have taken one student's example here, no problem. Just to see, let me see your performances. So you can see the live performance. This is live data for those who have attempted. Around 38 students have got 8 to 8.5. Around 31 students got 7, 6, 6.5, 19, 5, 4. So you can say that there are a lot of people who are attending the classes, but still their basic foundation is not right. That means you are whatever I taught you, right? You have still doubts in those. So this kind of assessments will help you to realize where you went wrong, what are the syntactical rules or structural rules of the topic that you are learning, and help you to improve on the skills. But still, this is not up to the mark. Few of them are having good questions, and you have to do the self assessment. If you copied or typed it and executed, that is a different issue. Because this is in the training activity, we don't ask students to not to copy, because ultimately it affects their career. All we teach is content, knowledge we will give. But if somebody is doing that, we don't stop them, because ultimately it won't affect me or our training activities, right? It affects you only. So you should have attempted all these questions on your own. Then you could have discussed the problems wherever you faced. That is the way we do it. But when you reach the second year, third year, no one will ask you to don't do this, don't do that. No one will tell you, because in the interview, you know what how strict it will be. So please attempt all this kind of activities on your own. Self assessment is very important, right? Today you might feel okay, I've done it, not an issue. But next time onwards, if people analyze question carefully, practice as soon as my session is over, practice the problems and make sure that all the fundamentals are clarified. Okay. Okay, I'll give a chance to interact for you guys. Fine. The first one, what is the output of this particular problem? So in the last class, we discussed about sets, dictionary, list and tuples, right? So these kind of MCQs will be very important for your first round in the interviews. I told you already. So don't think, okay, these are some random questions. Why we need to do all this? If you don't know these basics, you can't go to the coding round. Please practice more such problems. Right? Today, set a goal that from whatever the classes that have happened till now, you need to solve at least 100 to 200 MCQs on your own. Okay? 100 to 200 MCQs you need to solve on your own. Because first round in any interview will be MCQs, objectives, aptitude, reasoning rounds. So if you don't qualify there, you will not be allowed to go for the coding round only. That time will say, sir, I'm very good in coding, but I didn't practice these MCQs. So don't think these are all not necessary. Okay. Please practice MCQs. MCQs will help you to understand the rules or the syntactical rules of the language where you are going wrong. Okay. So here, what is the correct answer? Correct answer is 4. So somebody has to tell me why the correct answer is 4, those who have attempted.
Set will
Set will
not
remove the
count the
duplicate
repeated
values.
elements.
Yeah. So you know the rules of the data structures, right? I mean the Python data structures. Set and it will not allow you to have a duplicate values. So when you are giving this kind of values here inside the set, and what type of structure we are using to create the set? Are we using this flower
Square
bracket?
brackets.
What is this set? What is the term I told you in the last class?
Data type.
No.
Data structure.
Constructor.
Yeah. So the answer is constructor. So set here, we are not using this flower bracket to create the set. Instead, we are using set keyword as a constructor to create the set. So these kind of syntaxes will confuse you. There is a set here, but here square bracket is there. Some people think, oh, this is a list now. Why the sir has used set here? And again, there is a bracket. Is it a set or is it a list or is it a tuple? These kind of silly doubts you will get when you are practicing for the very first time. So my job is to make sure that you will learn all these things fundamentally. You should be thoroughly knowing all these syntactical rules. So we are using constructor here to create the set. In the bracket, we are passing the values. Okay. So here duplicate items are all deleted by the set because set doesn't accept duplicate items. So the length of this particular set numbers is 4. It is not 8. Okay, or it is not error of 7 also. So only when you explore these kind of problems, you'll get an idea, because in the class, I can't cover all these kind of questions. It will take you, maybe 1 year to cover the entire syllabus, maybe that much content is there in Python. So we are having only 1 day class doesn't mean that you stop learning. Most of you are stopped learning Python. That's what I am saying. Please understand that 1 day class until you have to practice the problems, whatever I'm posting in the Moodle every day. Okay, few of them are solving and asking me doubts. That is a good thing, but 90% of them are not solving. That is a problem. Okay, next. This is called as fill in the blank kind of question. There is no MCQ options here, but there is a blank field. Guess the output of the code below. So what is the answer? How many of you given C as the answer?
C.
So this is a set. This is a list, right? And what is this statement?
They're converting that that letter into lowercase.
Yeah, but what is that? It is called as list
Comprehension.
Comprehension.
comprehension. Yeah, so it is called as list comprehension. Then what? Why we are using 2 dimension here? Because this list is a combination of different strings, and each string has its own characters. So I can come to second index. This is 0, 1, 2. At the second index, I am accessing which character? Zeroth character. Zeroth character, right? So this particular syntax will convert everything into lowercase. Then we are only accessing the very first character, that is 0th index. So the output will be 0. So all these kind of pseudocodes, we call them as pseudocodes or code snippets. You need to practice more code snippet problems. Okay. Here also fill in the blank. What is the output of this you have written? Most of you would have written like this, no? Have you written like this? Last class I told, no, dictionary dot keys, dictionary underscore keys in the bracket, John and Peter. Maybe this will be the output, right? If you print just dictionary keys, for example, what happened to my mouse? Okay. So let me, for example, what is the question? D equal to John age is 40, right? Then something ABC 50. Now, if I print D dot keys, see how the output is. When I print only keys, it will display along with the predefined class, along with the keys only. Keys are John and ABC, correct? So the output will be along with this thing. This extra information will also be displayed. But in this case, the question what is given here is print list of D dot keys. So I don't want to have that extra information. I want to have only just key information, which is a list. So I'm converting that entire output into list. So that extra information will not be displayed. The actual output will be only the square bracket along with the list of key values. So what are the key values? John and Peter. Only those two will be displayed. These two will not be displayed. So here some people would have given only John comma Peter or John space Peter or entire thing. So you will be losing just because of the not having a proper clarity. So you should be have very careful when you solve this kind of code snippets. I think someone told about this one, right? Indentation. Here while adding the question, HTML, right? So I added extra space, so it is not an issue. So this is A, this is B, C, and D. Okay. Yes. Can someone tell me what we are doing here?
Inserting F in front of the B in a bth index position.
So we are using insert function and we are finding the index of B using this list sections. Then at this particular index, what I'm inserting? F. So what will be the correct answer? Is it this one? So B will go to the next place. At the first place, we are inserting. Basically, at the index of B, I am inserting F. So all the remaining elements will be pushed forward. Correct? Yeah, this is a little bit confusing, right? So what is this one?
It is appending
Yeah, it is a
87
list.
at the end of the list and then
Append and
extending
extend,
under
there is a
list.
difference, right?
But it
Yes.
won't show up as a list when we extend.
Okay.
It will just add the elements.
Okay. So you can see here, we are appending 87 as a list to the existing list. We are not adding element, we are adding an entire list actually. Then after that 87, we are extending 45 and 67. So when you use extend function, the elements of this list will be extended or added to the existing list. So this will not create a new list. Instead, these values will be copied into the existing list. Whereas append function will add as it is whatever you are putting inside the bracket. So if it is a list means it will add list only. So append function will not worry to add them separately, or it will follow its own mechanism. Extend will follow its own mechanism. So only when you solve, you will get a clarity of few. Okay, few are answering, but most of you have given wrong for this. And this is also, in this case, find the length of the list here. So it's an easy one. So you are adding list 1 plus list 2, then finding the total length of that. The correct answer is 8. This is related to tuple, right? So the correct answer is D, 3. Purposefully, I have added these kind of statements because people would have answered this one, 2, 3. Since it is a tuple, the answer will be displayed in this format. Right, again, this one. So when you print this, what you will get on the output? 1, 2,
It
3,
will append 5, 6,
4.
7, 8 as one more list.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the output is like this. So some people would have thought that the answer is 8. Append again, as I told you, append will just add whatever you are writing as it is. It won't extend the values. So we are having one list inside the other list. So total length will be 5 only. So this is 0 place, 1 place, 2, 3, and 4. Total length is 5. This entire string is considered the fifth value. Yeah. Why this is error? Because why this one is error? Because tuple doesn't serve any other functions apart from count and index. I told you in the last class. So this is a simple question. Just to check how much you have understood the last class, I've added this question. Okay. So a dot update. Basically, the update function won't work with the tuple. So tuple will give error because you can't update the existing, or you can't add the value directly like this. Okay, using the update function. So what is this statement? Which of the statement value is false? What is the correct answer? False answer. Then we are
Values of
looking for
dictionary
false
must
answer.
be unique.
So in the last class, I told you the key value should be unique, but values can be same, right? So values of the dictionary must be unique is not a true statement. It is a wrong statement. That means it is just like this. In your class, some student, most of the student have same names, right? Suppose if the student name is uh, Abhishek, there might be two, three students with the same name. So value might be same, but key value should be different. So what is key value for the students? Their roll number, right? So different roll number students can have the same name, but two students cannot have the same roll number, right? That is not possible. So key value should be unique, but value may be same. So key value should be unique, value might be same. So please remember, more than one key have the same value. This is also true statement. Okay. Values of a dictionary must be unique is a wrong statement. Values of the dictionary can be accessed. This is correct. Can be a mixture of letters and numbers. This is also correct. Okay. So like this, these are the basic questions which I've added just to assess in the initial level. So as and when our sessions are going to be completed, I will be adding much more advanced questions. So please continue preparing, and all this data I will be monitoring personally. Okay, so okay. Last class, I think I gave one question. What is that? Anyone saw that? What was my question? Update regarding
We have to
dictionaries.
update that. We have to remove Java in the given ones.
Okay. So those who have not attended, please go through the Python dictionaries. And what was the question I asked is how to delete this one, right? So this is, see this code. Deleting a single value from multiple key value pairs. I want to delete a single value from multiple key value pairs. So in this case, this is a dictionary, right? So the subject code college. Again, you see this might confuse you. What I have done here, just now I explained that uh, we cannot have a dictionary with same key value, correct? We cannot have a dictionary with same key value, but here I have a key value same, key value is same, but the corresponding values are different. Is it allowed? See the output and check what is happening. Okay, ma. Check. You send me your roll number. I will check personally where you went wrong. Assessment is over. Ma, you joined late. Insert space. Okay. So what was my question? For this particular, what is the output? Observe carefully. So when you have a duplicate key values in the dictionary, does it throw any error? No. So there is no error, no error. But how it is avoiding that error? It is taking the most updated recent value for that particular corresponding key. So there is only one key, college, but the new value for that key is grid 2. So it is avoiding two key values and taking the most recent version of that particular key value. Then in the seventh line, what I'm doing, I'm updating the subject with this new values, right? So that's why it is got updated. Now, what was my question in the last class? I want to delete only individual key. So you need to use the combination of key values along with the supporting functions by the dictionary. Okay, so see this line. So what I've done here, I want to delete some element. For example, I want to delete this C++ from the subject. So you have to take that key, attach with the remove function d2 of sub dot remove C++. So you can see that one element is deleted. This is one way. So the another way is you can check if the element is present in the key value here. So that is the second method. Suppose
Yes,
in this
screen is
case,
blank.
what I'm trying to, yeah. So if key value is present in that particular key. So if Java is present in this particular key subject, what I'm doing, same thing. I'm removing. First I'm checking, then I am removing. So that is an issue. Suppose if there is no element as such, you might get some error message, right? So you will get the error message that. So it is not doing anything. It is just displaying D2 as it is because this is not going to help you to remove anything because this JAV, there is no key value as such, correct? So it is just for your safety because whether the element is present before deleting, you're checking that. Then one more question that you may get is how to update key value pairs, right? So here in this case, I'm updating a new key to the existing key. Existing key is subject Python. So I removed and again I'm adding in the end. So append and it will add in the end. By default, it will add the value in the end. What this one is showing, can anyone tell me? Here, what I'm doing? This is also one of the way to add the new value. So new element, new value for that particular key is DS. I want to update as a DS. Then I'm using two-dimensional subscript operation as told in the previous section. So D2 subject of one. So one means the C++ is located at one place that will be updated with new value. So this I am deleting and updating with DS. So all these things are possible. So these are few functions which I've explained. So your job is to explore more functions. Okay, that's why at the end of each section, I'm telling you, each session, I'm telling you to find more dictionary methods. If I tell you there are mostly 20 to 30 dictionary functions are there. Okay, so we have to practice those things. What I am doing in the sessions is I'm giving you the core knowledge, what is important. Remaining things next 1 week, what you have to do after the each session is to find the more advanced functions, solve the problems, get idea how they are working. So you don't just study whatever I'm giving and leave it there. Because Python is very big, very huge. We have a lot of content there. We can't cover in 1 year also, it is not possible to finish the subject. So it is that much vast. Please, whenever I'm saying explore more dictionary method means you have to try it. Okay. Not only any topic, go deep into that particular topic. Okay. This is all about dictionaries. So after this, what we have in our module is okay. So we have regular expressions, sets and dictionaries over, list and tuple is over. This one I have to discuss. I'll discuss. Then functions I have to discuss. So this will cover 40 to 50% of your core Python. After this, I will be concentrating more on the object-oriented Python. Okay, so that means you'll be learning some advanced topics, object-oriented concepts, which what is object-oriented, all those things I will tell you in the coming sessions. So until your first internals, we will. I am trying to cover these topics and take one more assessment test in the Python itself. I mean in the Moodle. So please go through all the topics. Be prepared. I told you suddenly I might keep any one day. So all of you should be ready to take the assessment. Okay? So today complete the slices and strings, and by Sunday you complete the assessment problems. Okay. So please take down the next topic. Functions, how to create functions in Python. Okay. How to create functions in Python. All of you know what is a function. Anyone define function?
A block of code which does the specified task.
Yeah. A block of code which does a specific task, right? Functions are user defined or inbuilt.
User defined.
User defined.
Does all functions are user defined?
They are both user defined and pre-built, inbuilt.
There are inbuilt functions also.
So in Python, do we have any inbuilt functions?
Yes, sir.
Or all of them are user defined? So obviously when you take Python, 90% are all inbuilt. So you are using inbuilt functions. Python ante inbuilt functions. You have to write down, explore all the type of functions that you are finding it in the content that you are learning. Okay, so you make a list of functions that you have learned. Take a separate, maintain a separate notebook. In that you write a heading, functions that I have explored in Python. So start from basics, find, length, max, sort, right? Strip, join, split. All these are Python functions. Okay, so why I'm telling it is it will help you to go through those functions, and whenever you are solving problems, it will help you to analyze which function I might require to solve the given problem. So if you maintain your own data, always it is better. See, even at this age, you will understand whatever you have written in your notebook during exam, correct or not? You might be having a lot of content, PDF, everything, but end of the day, during exams or during any kind of assessment, what you will do is you will refer your own content. Okay, whatever you have written, that you will study properly. If you study from PDF, you will take half an hour. If you study from your own notebook, you will study within 15 minutes. So that is the advantage of preparing your own materials. So write down the content that you are learning, function that you are exploring. Okay. So when it comes to functions, so what is the statement I'm using is Python functions. Instead, you can call it as user defined functions. How to create user defined functions in Python. Okay. So in C, what are the three things that you require to create a function in C language?
Function declaration, function call, and
Function definition.
Yes. So function declaration, function call, and function definition. Very good. See, please don't forget this fundamental structure of C rules in whatever you studied in the first year, because we are taking a lot of assessment exams in the training sessions. Okay. So those people don't remember these fundamental questions only. Why? Because people think, okay, C is no more needed. I am good at Python or Java. They'll think they'll forget C. But in your MCQ rounds in the interview placement exams, there might be questions from C also, Python also, Java also. That time they will say, sir, we lost touch with the C, we couldn't attempt and we couldn't get into the next round. So fundamental that you study in any language is very important. Okay, so today only we conducted one assessment. Most of the students from those who passed the second year don't know what is function declaration, don't know what is the argument, what is formal parameter, what is actual parameter. So we are facing this kind of situation for the third year, second year students. So any language you learn it, don't forget the roots of that language. You can learn new language, but people will test your fundamental knowledge only. They will ask you what is variable. If you don't know, you might have forgotten, or you don't know, you have given more attention to coding, but you forget the syntax rules, all those things. Okay. So function declaration in C consists of three things: declaration, definition, and function call. Okay. So today only I gave one question for them. I will show you. Let me see how many of you remember the foundations. Okay. So just see this code and tell me, is there anything wrong with this? Yeah.
No function call.
Anyone? Unmute and talk.
So the return type is
Sir,
integer,
void.
but void is
Void cannot return value.
Void cannot return value.
Void cannot return.
So that means you people are good in fundamentals, right? So if you are able to answer, that is absolutely a good progress. That is a good way to learn. So you have to give attention to everything. So people are giving attention to written 5 and they are telling the answer is 5. This is a simple question that your seniors are not able to solve. They are failing in MCQ rounds. So what you will do when you don't able to don't able to solve these kind of problems. So MCQ round is a very tricky situation, and you have to be thorough knowledge person in the for the fundamentals of any language. So that is why I'm telling, practice. Today you set your goal. In Python I will practice minimum 300 MCQ questions. In C I will practice minimum 300 MCQ questions. MCQ questions 300 and you will not solve 300 similar problems based on arrays only. Okay, so you have to explore all different topics. For example, variables operators low 20 MCQs, while loop, do while loop low 20 MCQs, strings low 20 MCQs, recursion 20 MCQs. Like that, you filter out your content and practice every different type of question from anything, any textbook or any online material, whatever you do it, no problem. But set a goal, find out all the in and out of the basic language rules. Okay. Similarly, is there anything problem with this?
In function
Sir, it was
declaration, you
declared
have written
void
void
RCB, but
and definition in
then
enter.
they used int RCB.
Yeah. So when it comes to function, what should match? Everything should match. The return type should match. The name should match. The number of parameters should match. And what is one more point I missed? Can anyone tell me?
Order of parameters.
Number of parameters and order of. What do you mean by order of parameters? What do you mean by order of parameters? Suppose in this RGB function, I have int comma float. That means it is accepting two parameters, integer and float. What should I write here? I should write
Int
same
comma
order.
float. Same
Int
order,
comma.
that's right.
If I write float comma int, that will be a mismatch. See, this will give you the foundation, right? But when you come to Python, does Python teach you all this? No. Python will only teach you, it will simplify you with the existing function. So that time if the interviewer asks you, what is our actual argument, what is formal argument, you can't say, sir, I don't like them. I am good in Python. Python, don't worry about all these things. You can't say these kind of answers. So you should be knowing, okay? Is there any problem with this code? I'm just showing you the assessment test, basic test, what we conducted, and we still. I think I've done all these things for my students during first year. I just check the same questions,
Curly braces.
curly braces. When there are multiple statements in the if, you need to put a curly braces. So many of them have given this first answer as the correct answer. So please practice these kind of MCQs, which will give you thorough knowledge about the structure of C program. Okay. So coming to Python, in Python, you don't need to worry about declaration and all those things. You can directly create a function and you can call them. So the way we do it in Python is a little bit different than C. So here what I have done here is I have directly created a Python function. Does it have any arguments? No, it doesn't have any arguments. Then I'm calling the Python function. Okay. So obviously, you know, right, in C, you can write the function below or after the function definition. I mean, you can call the function from anywhere. So I'll call the function from here. That means what is the meaning? First, I created the function. This is called as function definition. So what is the keyword we need to use to create the function? Def. So please make a note of this. Def. In C, we don't use any such keyword. We just use the name of the function. But in Python, it is mandatory to use the keyword called as def. Okay, small cases. All the function name should be followed after def keyword only. Def space function name. Okay, def keyword followed by function name. So here, what is my function name? Python. Is it accepting any parameters? No. So it is not accepting any parameters. And colon is mandatory after the name, defining the name of the function, colon is mandatory. Then the indentation is also important because compiler has to understand until where that content of the function comes inside that. So please maintain that indentation. Suppose if I don't follow that, so you will get the indentation errors. So please be careful. Okay. This is the definition of the function, right? I didn't worry about declaration of the function in Python. Even in C, you need not to declare it if you define it before main function, correct? So this is a function call of the given function. What is the name of the function? Python, and we are calling just with the name of the function without any parameter. This is a basic syntax how to create my own function. Okay, now see this one little bit advanced. So what is happening in this code? Analyze. Okay, so here my question is, have we defined function before or after the actual code starts? Where from which line the compiler will start executing the code is my question. Does it start executing by here? Because in C we know, right, it starts from main function, int main. Here in Python we don't have anything as such, int main, nothing, right? We directly start writing the code. So does it start from fourth line or does it start from first line only?
Fourth lines.
Fourth line, sir.
Okay, because until you know what is this LST, what is this change function, from where it is calling, this will don't have any meaning. That means it is defined, but that doesn't have any memory associated with this. It is just like a template. This is just like a template. So compiler doesn't care about what is this. It will only care about what is this when there is a function call for that, right? That means this particular function will have a memory stored on the fifth line. When you call the function, that time it will be allocated memory. Until then, it is just a template. Okay. So here what we are doing, is it a function with a parameter? Can you call it like that? Is it a function with a parameter? How many parameters this function is accepting? Single parameter. And again, we are not worried about what is the return type, what is the data type. Everything is taken care by the compiler only. So here, execution starts from this line, we are having a list of 3 numbers. Then we are calling that function. What is the name of the function? Change. Both has to match with the parameter a. That means I'm passing list to the function, correct? I'm passing the list to the function. What is the list name? A. This I'm passing. So this list will be stored in LST, right? This is called as function parameter passing. So tell me which is actual parameter and which is formal parameter here.
A is actual, LST is formal.
So please remember that the terminologies many people don't know and they will forget by the time they reach 4th year. So A is the actual parameter and LST is the formal parameter. Okay. So when I pass this, what is the operation I'm doing? Simple, just for your understanding. This is the operation I'm doing inside the function. So I'm updating list value 0th index with 44, correct? So we are updating the function list with the help of the function, right? So updated content of the list becomes 4423. So this is function passing with the parameter. Here we didn't pass any parameter. Here we are passing the parameter. So what thing that you need to notice here is we are not worried about the return type of the function, the return type of the variable. Okay, so those things are different compared to C. And what is this one? How many function calls are there in this? Is there only one function call? So what is the name of the function? Sections. VR is a formal parameter. All these variables are actual parameters, correct? So there are 3 function calls C, B, A. We are calling this function 3 times, right? Then we are updating that content with something else, just for your understanding, right? So this is a function call with a single parameter only, but we are calling it multiple times. So you can call any function any number of times. There is no particular rule that you have to call it only once. Okay, same thing like C. Now tell me why I am getting type error here. In this code, analyze this code, same as previous. This code and this.
Expecting 2 parameters.
Now you understand that some rules are same for any language, whether it is Python or C, doesn't matter. What is the rule I told you? When the function is accepting 2 parameters, when you are calling that function, that time also you should call with the 2 parameters only. So just because it is Python, it can't handle everything by itself, okay? Because Python is derived from C only, okay? So here I am having a function with 2 variables, 2 parameters, var, comma, p, but I am passing only 1 parameter C. So this time the compiler will get confused. So it will not able to understand where to store the C, whether to store it in VR or B. Basically, the template only is not matching. This rule is same as C, right? Number of arguments should match even in the Python also. Okay. Let me pass some. See, section C2 didn't give me an error, but these 2 are giving error, right? So now I see 2 parameters. So this will not give any error. It will give error. So you should be very careful with that. Can I change this to values? What is happening in this case? Line 37, line 2. Basically, this particular thing is giving me what is the error I'm getting? Unsupported operand type, right? Why I'm getting this unsupported operand type? Because I'm passing 2 to the VAR, but VAR is actually a string data. Then this second one is string data, right? So arguments also, the data type also. So this rule also is same as the C. So data type also should match, the order in which you are asking parameter also should match. Okay. So there is something extra feature is there in the Python, which not there in C. I want you guys to analyze this code and tell what is happening. Observe this code. To avoid that previous problem, We're having this feature in Python. So what is happening in this code? Okay, for your understanding, I will add something extra here. Okay. Then I will update this one. Now you see what happened. Class value got it. So what is this particular mechanism is doing? Anyone? There is something extra
Is,
right here.
is it taking like an array?
Yeah. So basically, when you want to fix how many function, it's just like unpacking, you know, right? Unpacking we studied in the last class. Okay. So when you attach star in the formal for the variable, right? So what the function does is it will not worry about how many parameters it should accept. Please write down that. Okay. So what I am telling here, star indicates what? Star indicates any number of arguments. So take arguments without worrying about how many parameters that function call is passing. Here function call, this is a function, right? So sections I'm passing how many parameters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm passing 3 parameters, 6 parameters, sorry. So these all 6 parameters, common name for them is VAR only. Okay. So here I need not to worry about matching the number of arguments in the definition. So which see, right? So in C, we need to match the number of parameters even in the function call also and even in the function definition also. But to avoid writing the multiple parameters, so the Python provides this shorthand mechanism, right? What is that? Star. So when you attach star, it is called as any number of arguments for that particular formal parameter. Now, how to print the value is the next question, right? So this VAR is now acting like an array. Again, somebody told me that answer already. Okay. So what I'm trying to print, I don't care about what is the number of arguments that this section is passing to this particular user-defined function sections, but I can access each of them using the index, right? So when I'm printing 5, what is the answer I'm getting? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? So at the fifth index, I'm having here, so that value is. So this type of functions in Python. So you can add any number of arguments you want. Okay. Add any number of arguments and keep on updating your parameters. So number of arguments, what arguments? The number of actual arguments can be in the it will be matched with the function definition. Okay. So this is what star operator. Star operator will allow you to have any number of arguments to be passed from the function call. Please write down that statement. Now this code is something different. This will be uldra of this or reverse of this. Now analyze this code. What does it do? What it is doing?
Mummy.
Anyone? So here where we are adding star is the question, right? Are we adding in the formal parameter or actual parameter?
That
So here you need to be very careful, right? One variable here. What is the Unpack takes position arguments over where given. What I mean by error? So these kind of problems, right? So 5, 6, 7. I'm updating the list. Then I have written stars here. What is the function? Unpack. And I'm not sending only one value. I'm telling the compiler to send all the values. Star X means any value that is there in this particular list and all the function. Right? So all the function, all the values are coming to this function. But to support these values, are they enough variables here? No. So this again there is a mismatch here. So to support you need to have C, D, E, F, G. You see now there is no error. There are 7 variables and there are 7 values. Then I'm printing which value? I'm printing A plus D value. What is A plus D here? What is A plus D? A is value. What is D value? D value is 0, 1, 2, 3, fourth index, third index, right? So compiler is adding 4 plus 1 to the function and returning that value to the main function. I mean, it is printing there only. Printing A plus D. So this is important. Sometimes it's confusing, right? Here, there is no issue. You can add as many parameters as you want, right? This will by please mute yourself, guys. Interact with you. You are disturbing those who are learning also. You yourself not learning and dividing others also. Okay. Understood this part? This. My voice is breaking. Okay. One minute. Page. There is a power cut, I think. Yes, actually there is a power cut and yeah, 1 minute. How about now? Audible? Actually, there was a power cut in between and my Wi-Fi got connected to my phone and I didn't realize that. Okay. Fine. Any doubt in this unpacking? So please be careful when you solve functions with this kind of syntaxes. When you add star to the actual argument, how many values you are passing, that many variables should be there to support those values. But that rule need not to be worried for this case, right? In this case, I am passing so many values. I can keep on adding. This will take care by itself because it is taking it as an array. But here it is reverse process, right? So compiler has to know how many elements are there in this X variable or any value that you are passing. That many variables should be there to support that. Okay. Then only there will be a matching with the function definition and function call. Okay. Then there is a something called as key arguments. So I'll just complete this and we can wind up for the day. Not so just listen to this last one. So what is this? Key arguments. We can also have a key value pair in the function call. Okay. Here in the function call, I'm having a key value followed by the variable key value. Key is variable 1, value is A, key is variable 2, value is B, in that way. So here when I am calling them, I can directly display the elements with the help of the key, just like a dictionary. Okay, these are called as key arguments. In Python, we can also have key arguments. So we need not to worry about what is the actual value of this thing. I can directly print the actual value that I passed in the function call with the key. So this VR1, VR2, VR3, all of them are called as key. Can I change the name of these variables? Will it work? Just check it out. So see here. Now you need to be very careful. So when you are using key value pairs in the function call, the key names has to match. Okay. The key name has to match. So here, if I write A, B, and C. Obviously, here also I have to change. Now I'm getting the updated value. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is your key values in the function call and in the function definition has to match. Generally, what is the rule? The name of the formal parameter and actual parameter need not to be same, right? In C. In formal parameter, you can have the name of the variable as A and B. In the actual parameter, you can have C and D. That will work. But in this case, in this particular method, the key value should be same, even in the function call also, and even in the function definition also. This is one more different mechanism compared to C. So what is this called as key arguments in Python? Key arguments. Please write down these sentences. Okay. Key values should be matching in the function definition and function call. And just like this star operator, which will help me to not worry about number of parameters passed, even for key arguments also we have a different mechanism. In this case, what is that we have done? Instead of 1 star, we have used 2 stars. Correct. So what we are doing here, I need not to worry about how many keys are there. Just like previously, I need not worry about how many parameters the function call is passing. So here, what I have done, all these variables I replaced with section. Before that, I have attached 2 stars to it. So what is the meaning of this? Any number of key value pairs, right? So that means you can pass any number of key value pairs to this particular class G. Okay. Here, how many values I have? Variable 1 equal to A, variable 2 equal to B, and variable 3 equal to C. Then how I'm printing the actual answer? By using this formal parameter section, followed by what is the name of the key. So you need not to worry about how many parameters I have to take there. Suppose if you want to update, you can update this. Here I can write var4. You will still get the output. Okay. So you can keep on adding as many key values as you want in the function call, and internally the function, the Python compiler will take care of what key you are passing. So you need not to mention these key values in the formal parameters. VR1, VR2, VR3, VR4. So we are just simplifying our job here. That's all. So you can ask for why these many methods, you'll get a doubt, right? Initially, this method was there. Now it has updated. It is just like your phone version getting updated every now and then, correct? So initially when Python was introduced, this mechanism was there. Now they have updated it to this one. So we will be simplifying along the way, right? So that is why I'm telling Python is always evolving over the day by day. You need to know the new mechanism, compare with the old one, which is better. You need to learn in that way. Okay, now the last question I'll ask you. I'll unmute you guys. Anyone can unmute and tell me the answer for this. What is happening here?
The value of the formal parameter is fixed.
Okay.
While calling the function, if we give the parameter, it's taking that later. Otherwise, a default value f is taken when we are calling.
Okay. So now you understood 3 types of parameters in Python, right? One with the actual parameters, how many you are passing, that it will take care. Otherwise, variable number of arguments. Okay. The term is variable number of arguments. That is done by star. Star will take care of variable number of operators. arguments. What about double star? Double star will take care of
Key.
variable number of key value pairs. Variable number of key value pairs. Suppose you don't have anything. I don't have any formal parameter. I don't have actual parameter. I don't know what to pass. Some cases you don't know what to pass, right? So some student comes after the end of the admission, right? So that student is not allotted to any sections. So you don't know where to go. So I'll tell him, just go to the last section. There will be some places available. You go to the last section in CSE. So last section in CSE is F, right? So for this particular student, I am not sending any particular section details. I'm just telling go to any one last section available, right? So I'm passing nothing here, but still, what is answer I'm getting for that function call? F. That means this comes under default parameter, default parameters or default arguments. So Python provides you this facility to have a default arguments. Like just like in switch case, you have a default statement in switch case, right? If nothing is true, default case will execute. Similarly, if no arguments are passed, default argument is executed. So for the first function call, A is printed, second function call B is printed. For the third function call, I didn't pass anything. Now the compiler will utilize the default argument. What is the default argument value? F. Okay. If the value is passed, this F will be replaced with a corresponding value. So A will be replaced with F. I mean, F will be replaced with B. F will be replaced with B and C in that order. But here I'm not passing anything, so it will display the default value F. So please write down these three things. Python provides how many parameters? 3 parameters. Default parameters, variable number of arguments, variable number of key value pairs. So these 3 features are not available in C. In C, everything has to be matched, correct? So if somebody asks what is difference between Python function and C functions, these are the most important foundation questions, okay? Then these are some of the problems like MCQs, which you can solve it, try by your own. Here we are passing list to the function and we are printing, right? Then here we are returning the value. This is a function with a return value, correct? This function is doing the operation. We are passing 3 to the function, right? It is doing that operation and returning the result. So this all will cover you the basic foundation of the functions, okay? So this much, if you know, there's more than enough. If I talk about function, if somebody asks you about the function, please tell them about these 3 basic rules. How to create variable number of arguments, how to create variable number of key value pairs, and how to have a default parameters. So go through this content, okay? So whenever I put the questions, try to solve them. Here I'm explaining the theory concept, but all your programs will be concept oriented. How many of you observed that concept oriented questions already? Because I'm not revealing anything directly, correct? For example, here I'm telling in some question, there is Allu Arjun, something like that, right? So here print the name, Virat Kohli and 34. Basically, you will be having a story behind the question whenever you solve in real time. So these foundation questions, you have to use it to learn and solve these kind of problems. Yes, Dheeraj. Tell me, Dheeraj. Any doubt? Okay. Nothing, sir. Just raised hand. Okay. Dheeraj is a politician, I think. He'll raise his hand. Okay. So anyway, deadline, please complete these programs. I couldn't add
మలయాళం మూవీ అంటే మలయాళం కూడా 150 crores.
Oh my God, these girls are very dangerous. Okay, so they are doing something backside. That's the problem when I unmute students. I always want to keep it open for the queries. Because of these girls, I am muting the sessions. Anyway, keep on working. Next 1 week, complete all the assessment problems, strings, slices, everything, because many people have solved and they're waiting for new questions. So next 2 days, I'll be adding a lot of questions. whenever I get time, these things will be filled up with lot of materials. Okay, be ready, practice the problems. Okay, and I'll be conducting assessment also. Okay, see you in the next session.